Well, hello, tubers, tubettes, various crazy people. I'm here today with my buddy Mark Thornton of Every Man Has a Story, so make sure you check out his channel. And thanks for coming on the little program.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for meeting me. It's been a while. I think we haven't done one since last month, right?
Yeah, well, we try to get together at least once a month.
Yeah, at least
we
once
don't
a
want
month.
to do overkill on it, but it's always good to catch up and see what's going on. And we haven't seen each other lately because I've been having health issues with my
Right.
girlfriend. You've been busy getting married.
Yeah.
I did make it to your wedding reception, however. That was awesome. And congratulations again on being married.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
do you feel different?
I don't. Now, Jen says she does.
I believe it. I can see it in her.
Yeah. I guess she's more confident in the relationship now, which she had no reason not to be before, but she says, my husband. She's
Yeah.
so happy to be married. I mean, I just
Yeah.
couldn't believe how much she really is I think it's a Filipino thing where before, when people looked at her, you're just living with this foreigner, and now you're married. You're committed to each other, and he's committed to you. And her whole demeanor's changed
Well,
as far as her confidence about herself and our relationship.
I think it applies here, and I think it applies in America, but I really think that it's emphasized here, especially with the women, because anyone can be your girlfriend, and that sort of implies possibly temporary.
Right.
That's, but when she is your wife, and this is my husband, that means there's solid commitment there.
Exactly.
And so I would guess, I don't pretend to know Jen that well, but I would guess that just everything shot up with her as far as her outlook and the way she holds herself and how she feels about herself. And
I think she's more confident around her friends too, because she's got something to be proud of.
Absolutely.
That she's married.
yeah, and there's got to be like a subconscious feeling of uneasiness.
Yeah.
Because with women that are girlfriends, because unfortunately there's so many relationships where the guys are liars.
Yep.
You and I were talking about
Yeah,
the
we know
truth
that. We know them.
before. And we know the guys that are just full of it, and they'll tell the girl anything she wants to hear, make all kinds of outlandish promises. They'll have their way with her until they're tired of her, or somebody else comes along.
Or get her pregnant and walk away.
And then they just toss her away like yesterday's newspaper.
Yep.
And so the girls see that. And so, but when there's a marriage there, not all marriages work out.
No.
We also know guys that are married that bailed out.
Yeah.
But there is that other level of commitment that's
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So congrats on that.
Yeah, thanks. And the thing about it is too, when you're married or you're in a committed relationship like you are, it takes, I wouldn't call it stress, but there's like, if you're a single person, you always have that hole that you're trying to fill with a partner or with a girl. You're always looking around trying to meet somebody, dating. It takes a lot of time and energy.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting, especially if you're our age. The whole dating thing.
Yeah.
And then once you've got a girlfriend or a wife and you're all settled in and it's committed, you can put that energy towards other things.
Correct.
And like I put it towards my channel, towards this business I'm trying to do, and I just found it's just given me like peace of mind. I feel like really relaxed. I feel very comfortable. Also, when you're in a relationship, it's much easier to socialize and make friends because most people are coupled up here. And so, when we go out together, like you go out with other guys, they've got their girlfriends, the girls can sit and talk and do their thing, and you can meet new people. And I found I'm making even more friends now that I'm in a relationship than when I was single, like when I met you.
Interesting.
We were both single at the time.
Yeah. So, do you have any before you met Jen? Do you have any dating horror stories or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I think I've told them to you before.
Okay. Have we told them online yet?
Yeah.
Have we ever done it on the internet?
We probably have, but
Have we?
we've.
I've redundant.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that happened? Real quick, a real quick one.
I met a girl online, and beautiful girl, but she had a 2-year-old son, and I didn't really want to get involved with someone who had children because it just gets, complicated. But anyway, I agreed to go over and meet her, and she was in Mindanao. And so I went over there to meet this girl, and the little boy was just like the Tasmanian devil. All over the place. We went to a restaurant, and he's literally running around, pounding on the windows, screaming and stuff, and just like crazy. And he was like that all the time.
Yeah.
I said, wow, my studio apartment, if she ever moved in with me, it'd drive me crazy. And then the first night we were together, things are going fine. I bought some presents for the boy, a couple little things for her, first time ever, seeing each other in person. And all of a sudden she burst into tears. And I said, what's wrong? Oh, my father, he had a motorcycle accident and he's going to be thrown out of the place where he's living, and I don't know what to do. I want to help him, but I don't have any money.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I said, well, dear, I said, I just met you, like 5 minutes ago. And, if I was in a relationship, I'd be willing to help you, but, I'm
We've
not
been
going
together a couple of years and this happened, well, okay.
I'm not giving any money. And so then all of a sudden she just, like that, turns off the tears. And a few minutes later she goes, well, why don't you buy me? I said, excuse me? Why don't you buy me? Come on, buy me, buy me, buy me. Come on, why don't you buy me? I go, really? And she's basically like a prostitute, I guess, thing, and so I got rid of her real quick.
Blame me.
But I mean, I talked to her for probably a month online. We were talking online. Everything seemed normal, but it was strange. And then I remember when I was talking to her online, she had this boy who was always with her, climbing all over, and she'd be talking to me, and he'd have his hand down her shirt, feeling her up, she's just letting him do it, 2 years old, and it was weird.
Yeah.
So that was one of my.
So good thing you had some nice solid warning signs before you got too deep.
But I went all the way to Mindanao, so I learned my lesson there. But I mean, I'd say most of the girls I didn't date that many, just a handful of them before I met Jen. And they were mostly nice girls, no problem. They didn't try and scam me. It just wasn't right,
Yeah, there's no chemistry.
No chemistry, or the English was so bad you couldn't communicate. That was a big one.
Yeah.
You meet these girls and you can text them, and they can text you, but when you want to have a conversation, they won't speak English.
Right.
They're not comfortable, or their skill level's not there, whatever. So,
sure.
I guess that's one of the things that helped Jen and I the most, is the fact that her English is so good that we can sit down and talk about anything.
Right on.
She asked me about science and politics and what's going on in the world, and I can explain it to her, and she understands. And that really helps in a relationship, because you have to have more than just attraction. You got to be able to communicate.
Sure.
And so, that was a big thing,
Right on.
That helped a lot.
So, what else were they going to ask you? Okay, who's your favorite boy band? I think that's what everybody's been wanting to know for the longest part of time.
NSYNC.
Okay, there you go. You have a poster in your room?
I did, but Jen made me take it down. I had a poster. The only poster I ever had in my room when I was a kid was with Farrah Fawcett.
I think everybody had that.
Yeah, remember the hair?
In the bathing suit?
Yeah, in the bathing suit.
Yeah.
That's the one, pink one.
Yeah.
I had that.
Yeah. Farrah Fawcett. It's interesting. All these people that were such icons and that we looked up to, say, in the 70s and the 80s growing up, right?
Yeah.
Where are they now? And I think I look back at myself and I think, I spent a lot of time and energy being envious of them, or coveting what they had, or wanting to be like them. And so many of them, I look at them now, if they're still alive, and they're just shells of their former self.
Yep.
The only person who is my true hero is Raquel Welch.
Yeah.
That woman looks as beautiful today as she did 50
Sophia
years ago.
Loren, too.
And Sophia Loren. I have no
one.
idea what kind of water they're drinking, but I'd like to get a hold of some.
Yeah. They're just taking care of themselves. They have good genes, too. But going back to your point about admiring other people or envying other people, I think that's one of the worst things you can do in your life. Is like, say your friend plays the guitar and you go, wow, I sure wish I could play the guitar like him, or they're better looking than you, or they got a better job than you, or whatever, and they've got certain talents and you envy their talents. It's like, everybody has their own talents.
Correct.
And what you have to do is you have to find what is your gift that God gave you. What is your talent that you can do?
Yeah.
And maybe it's not playing the guitar. Maybe you could write, or maybe you could own a business, or you could do different things. And if you focus on finding what your God-given talent is, you'll be happier and more successful. And you're not don't compete against anybody. You're only competing against yourself.
Sure.
And if you compete against yourself, like, am I a better person, more successful today than I was yesterday? What can I do to improve my life, my situation? And don't worry about what anybody else thinks or what anybody else. That was a tricycle with a very fat pig in it. I'm not kidding. That's what it was, a very fat pig. And the ride is not going to end happily.
No, for the pig.
Yeah, no. I think they'll be at a
No, but I think that the stuff that we're talking about here and the points that we're making here comes with time, and with time comes wisdom.
Yep.
And with that, that's why, for the life of me, I can't understand why older people are made fun of in America, or kind of ignored, or there's almost an angst towards them. Like, oh, look at that old man, look at that old lady. Where over here they're revered.
Yeah.
And it's because they have the wisdom and they have the time. and there's no better school than the school of life.
Yeah.
You know, you can get as many diplomas as you want, you can have as many letters after your name as possible, but you still may not be all that street smart. And so I just think that all of those words that you said would have fallen deaf on my 25-year-old ears. I still found myself coveting this and wishing I was different and wanted to be more popular and blah, blah, blah. And then later on in life, I look back on it and go, what a waste of time.
You ever look at a picture?
I'm happy with myself now.
I know.
I'm happier with myself now as an old fart, you know, in this old body than I was back when I was in my best physical condition,
Me too.
my most mental alertness,
really
my best financial position.
Yeah.
I was at the top of my game, and I was pretty much miserable.
Yeah.
You know?
I looked at pictures of myself like when I turned 30. I remember being depressed when I turned 30. Oh God, you know, you're so old, you're 30 years old.
Yeah.
And looking at pictures of myself, I said, man, it looks pretty good at 30. You know, I wish I looked like that now.
Now, yeah.
You know, and
I knew what I knew.
And I remember being insecure about my looks.
Right.
When I was 30, and I looked pretty damn good when I was 30.
Right,
You know?
right.
But I didn't believe it at the time.
No, neither did I.
Yeah. And I find the same thing like with Jen. She goes, oh, I'm getting fat. I go, baby, you're not fat. I mean, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And oh, should I change my hair color? I want to change it to blonde. I want to change it. And I love your hair the way it is. It's like young people in general, men and women, they're insecure about their looks and they constantly think they need to change themselves.
That's right.
You know, and you need to embrace who you really are. And once you do that, your whole life opens up for you.
I got a question out of left field for you. What would you say if Jen wanted to get a tattoo?
No.
You feel the same as me?
Unfortunately, she hates tattoos.
Fortunately,
Fortunately, she doesn't want a tattoo, and she doesn't want me to get a tattoo.
No, neither does me.
Now in America, and when I was working on ships, every girl you met in her 20s or something had tattoos. Like my last serious girlfriend I had, she had a scorpion tattoo. She's a Scorpio on her back shoulder, and I hated that tattoo. She's a beautiful girl. You go out to dinner, we're on the ship, so formal night, she's got this nice dress on and everything, and got that scorpion tattoo on her. It just looked horrible.
Right.
And so when she came to visit me in America, we actually went to a place that removes tattoos to find out what it would cost. It was going to be like $6,000.
Yeah.
Because you have to go for
painful.
treatment. Yeah, yeah, it's very painful, but you have to go for treatments. Like they go in, they work on it. You come back every month, you know,
It's
until
almost like they're standing you down or something.
Yeah, like it's unbelievable, you know. I said, yeah, I've never seen a tattoo that, you know, that I want on my body for the rest of my life. But if you're going to get a tattoo, now's the time to get it at our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get one, wait till you're 60, because if you get one when you're 30, by the time you're our age, it's going to be like a big blob.
Right.
Your skin changes.
Right.
Like I cut my knee when I was like a teenager, had a big scar, but now that scar is down on my ankle.
Gravity.
It moved around, you know. So if it was a tattoo, you know, that's what it would have been like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I always had a rule in my house that on my kids, I said, you know what? I've always had a distaste, and I don't want to lose half our audience here because a lot of guys have tats, and I'm not knocking it.
No, I'm not either.
But it's just my own preferences. I prefer not to have them. I don't. They confuse me a lot of times.
Well, I don't like them
the
on
guys
women.
that are totally sleeved, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to look at them, but they move their arm around, and I can never make any sense of it. So it just sort of looks like a big blue blob to me.
What I don't understand is back tattoos. I mean, like, you spend thousands of dollars, go through all this pain to have something on you can't even see it. you know? I mean, what's the point?
Yeah. The only one that got it right was Mike Tyson. He got it right on the side of his face.
But, you know, like, I watch UFC, and some of these guys, you know, with this muscular body, and they got the tattoo, it looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
It really does, you know, on them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look good on me, you know.
No.
But if I was going to get a tattoo, I think I would get abs. Tattoo of abs.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, you know.
Yeah. Just so it looked good in pictures.
Yeah. They've actually got like plastic abs you can get. You know, they're implants.
No,
you
I
can
did
get
not
pecs.
know that.
Yeah, they're like, it's like a silicone implant. They put it into your skin and you have like fake muscles.
Wow.
It doesn't make you strong, it just looks good.
Wow, so I guess going to the gym just is out of the question.
Yeah, you
for
don't need
some
to.
people.
Yeah. Anyway.
But anyway, all my kids on their 18th birthday went out and got a friggin' tattoo.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a rule. But that was the rage, you know, of that generation. And one of my sons, he's got tats all over the freaking place. And all my kids do. So, I don't know. I guess I'm just old-fashioned. You're old-fashioned.
It's like piercings. I don't know about those. Like, I don't mind the navel thing the girls have, you know, the little navel piercing thing with a little.
Yeah,
that's kind of sexy. which Jen doesn't have that. But she wanted to get her ears pierced, and I said, okay, that's up to you. I don't mind that. And so she got one done. Then she's got 3 now in one ear. So this is a girl that when we take her to get her COVID shot, right?
Right.
She's going to pass out.
Uh-huh.
She's just scared to death, the little tiny needle. But she can take a big needle and poke it right through your ear. Not once. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
Oh, wow, she did it all the way up. Huh?
Yeah, so that was okay, but the COVID shot made her nervous. So trying to figure out women.
So you and I both got the same vaccine. We got the Chinese vaccine.
Yeah, Sinovac.
Did you have any side effects?
Nothing.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, and
how about Jen? Did she have any side
yeah,
effects?
she did, but she didn't have Sinovac. She had another one, I think Moderna.
Oh, she had Moderna.
But I think hers was psychological.
Really?
Because she was so worried about it. She was so stressed about this, and then she had to hold her hand when she got the shot and everything, and then she said, oh, my arm hurts. It's really, really bad. And there's no swelling, no nothing. Oh, I can't lay this way. And I think a lot of it was in her head.
Okay.
But I don't know.
May and I had totally different side effects. So we got the Chinese vaccine, and for 2 days, May had a sore arm.
Yeah.
And for 3 days, I had an unbelievable craving for Peking duck. I don't know where but we're over it now.
Are you going to get a booster?
I haven't had the second shot yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I get that on the 23rd.
No.
And
I've
so
had the second already.
we got juiced in too. We didn't have to go through the 6-hour wait. We actually used our landlady, didn't use her, but we hired her. And she went and stood in line at 3 o'clock in the morning and did all this nutty stuff. And so we got in and out in 90 minutes. And then we go back on the 23rd of December and we get our second shot.
Everybody here's like Jen did the same thing. Place she went, Valencia, and waited hours and hours to get her shot. I went to Bakong, where we live.
Yeah.
I waited like 5 minutes, went in there, got my first shot, checked me, made me stay for 20 minutes, make sure I didn't get sick. I left. The next time I went back, that was closed. They weren't even doing them there anymore. So they have a little clinic like right across the street. I said, oh, I'm here for my other COVID shot. Okay, well, come on in. I sat down, got my shot, and left.
Why didn't Jen do that?
I don't know. She registered online for some reason. She ended up in Valencia. I never figured out why. I think maybe they'd stopped doing them in Bakong or something, but
Okay.
she ended up in Valencia, Or maybe it was her age group. Maybe that was it,
That could have been
I think
that.
that was it, the age group.
Yeah.
And then I was at the mall about a month ago, and they've closed the movie theater, and they've got all these plastic chairs set up, and there was people all the way down from one of the mall to the other waiting to get a COVID shot. And you figure each shot is taking like 20 minutes. Like those people were never going to even get through the line, Because there's only like 3 tables that giving shots.
They had the Army there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they caught somebody selling tickets. In other words, they were giving people 10 tickets at a time, and they were taking a little something for it.
No kidding.
And so they rooted those people out, and now it's fair at least. If you get there first, you're in first. But before, you could get there right on time, and you could be number 298 out of 300.
Wow.
So anyway, they fixed that. But when I was down there, they had full-on military. And I asked somebody that knows what's going on around here, and he told me that was what was going on. So, but anyway, hopefully, we were talking about when the place might open up, and we both decided we give up on trying to figure out when.
Yeah.
It's
Me
just,
too.
it's just, I figured, by December it's got to.
I predicted the first of this month, which was true, but then they changed their mind when that Omicron came out.
Yeah. So I don't know how many more variants are going to come out. I don't know how many more restrictions there's going to be. Apparently, America's really tightened up travel coming in.
Well, America's considered a yellow country. You can't even come here. Even if there was open, you wouldn't be allowed to come here.
No. And I was planning on going back to the States in March, because that's my father's birthday. He's going to be 97. But I don't know what I'm going to do.
You said to me earlier, though, you didn't finish the sentence when I was talking to you on my channel, and you said that you could go back anyway. Your father's 97.
Right. Right.
Have you ever thought about, damn the consequences, I'll just go, and if I get stuck in America for 2 or 3 months?
Well, I couldn't afford to stay in America. But here's my option. Here's my plan B. Is what I might do in March is this. I might just put enough money in the bank for May to survive on for 4 or 5 months, instead of me sending it to her each month. And go to the States, spend a week or whatever I can handle over there, see my dad, see my family, see my kids, just try to do a whiz-bang 1 week thing. So I don't want to be paying $100 and $200 a night for hotel rooms.
You can't stay with any of your family, like stay with your father?
No, they all have small places. They're all like, I could stay one night, I could crash on the floor, but I don't want to get anybody's way. So, and then I can imagine I have friends. I haven't worked out the details, but my other thought was just to, if I can't get back into the Philippines, it's just a matter of time. Maybe I just book into Mexico, and where I can live affordably and just cool my heels.
I heard they're making it harder there too.
Are they?
I heard that, yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'd find a country that was easy to get into.
Can you bring a Filipino to Mexico? I wonder if it's as hard to get.
I think you can. I think it's a lot easier to get them in there.
Someone said Turkey's easy to get people in, Filipinos into, which is a nice. Istanbul's really nice. It's cheap there too.
Hong Kong's easy, from what I understand.
Yeah, it is expensive there.
Yeah, but as far as getting your Filipino.
How about Thailand?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You could go there.
Yeah, I could go to Thailand, but Thailand's tripling its prices. I just talked to Gary and AJ, and I didn't talk to AJ about the prices, but I talked to my friend Gary that was there, and he said his landlord was going to triple his rent next month. So he just went back home because they're getting more and more and more people in there.
Since they're open, and they have no competition.
And they have no competition. So I guess the price of rice over there has gone up quite a bit, and the bars are really padding the bills. So you just go in for a simple drink. I don't mean go in and get drunk. I don't mean go in and party all night. I'm talking about just going in and having a meal and a Coke, and they'll pad the bill a few hundred baht just to see if they can get away with it. And so I don't know. It remains to be seen, I imagine. We'll see what happens. I'll find out in February.
Yeah, the worst thing, I mean, I don't want to be negative, but the worst thing is like your father passed away, like what happened with AJ's father.
Right.
And you don't get to see him one last time.
Right.
So it's
that
almost
weighs heavy on my mind.
It's almost worth like any risk.
It is. It is.
Don't you want to spend more than a week with him? I mean,
well,
the last time you're going to see him. I mean,
yeah, but
are you not that close?
Well, we're very close, but at his age, he pretty much is up for a few hours, then he takes a long nap, then he's up for a few hours and eats, and then you go back to bed. You know what I mean? So he's kind of in that shape. I'd probably, and just seeing me and making some memories and talking, and we would spend those 2 or 3 hours for 2 or 3 days and just talk and lie to each other and tell dirty jokes, and that's the way we are together.
Yeah.
And then I think it would start to tire him out, to be honest with you. And but it would be awesome to see him and hug him and kiss him and spend some time with him and hopefully help him blow out the candle on his birthday cake, see my sister, and then go into Vegas and see my kids and try to get them all rounded up, see a few friends, and then back to this.
I don't. It's funny. I don't even think about America anymore. As far as like, of course, I think about family and friends. Yeah. But as far as like being there, I don't miss America.
Oh no.
I mean, I'd love to go to a Walmart, or maybe a Taco Bell or something. But I don't miss anything. Even like, I used to like driving my car. I had a nice car when I was there. But coming here, like I'd like riding my motorcycle. I mean, it feels good and I feel free. And
I do too.
Someday I'll have to get a car and be too old for it. But I mean, I don't miss it.
No.
All the little petty problems we have here with the internet going out and not being, things are out of stock and you don't have the variety of shopping and stuff. It's still, when you weigh both things, it's so much better here.
Well, you know what I do for a reality check is whenever my internet goes out or we have a brownout or something's not in stock, I ask myself, what was my grandfather's life like? What was the world like 100 years ago?
Yeah.
What was the world like pre-electricity?
Right.
I mean, that's a relatively new invention, isn't it?
Yeah.
Radio, TV, all this kind of stuff has just come along in the last, 100 years or so? And the human species has been alive a long time, and they just found more creative, self-industrious, more self-reliant things to do. And that's what I found myself out here. A little unconscious improvement, I guess, in our characters and in our behavior and our actions is that we become a little bit more creative. We become a little bit more self-reliant. Become a little tougher.
You do.
You get a little thicker skin, man.
You're a lot more tolerant.
We're not pussies.
No, we're not.
And, because I used to whine like a little girl. Oh, I don't have any air conditioning. Oh, there's the brownout. And now it's just like, okay, brownout. You
You know, they say in
big
America
deal.
that if, say there was some kind of breakdown of the grid system and the power was wiped out in the whole country for say a month, that millions of people would die.
Oh, absolutely.
And you think about it, in the 1800s or early 1900s, they didn't have electricity.
Uh-uh.
Nobody would have died.
No.
They had food, they had medicine, they had everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah,
They wouldn't have died, but now we're so weak that if we don't have electricity, we
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
And here, most people don't have reliable electricity. A lot of these people, I mean, that's something else. Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but you know, even though we live on fixed incomes, we're wealthy compared to 90% of the people that still live around us, wherever we live. And so, when you see, like when I drive to my beautiful apartment on the beach there, and I go by all these little nipa huts, all these people, you're surrounded by very, very poor people. I think it puts you in perspective, and it makes you much more grateful for what you've got. You know, you go, wow, I got a refrigerator, I got electricity, I got air conditioning, I've got this, I got that. And these poor people, you know, they don't have anything. Maybe they've got electricity and water, they don't have hot water. You know, they might have some rice and chicken and stuff, but they don't have what I've got. And so I'm very, very lucky. And, you know, I just feel so fortunate. Whereas, like these things, if I was back in America, I'd not be taking it for granted, be going, well, poor me, I can't afford the new iPhone, I can't afford, you know, whatever, you know. And here, I don't think about that at all.
No, I think that the best thing that could happen to today's youth, with all the sensitivity thing and all that kind of jazz, and I'm not going political,
Yeah.
but I think the best thing that could happen is that they travel.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that
for
they
sure.
don't go to the French
Absolutely.
Riviera, but they come out here, or they go to Indonesia, or they go to Africa, or they go, you know, you pick a country.
Yeah, anywhere.
And an interesting statistic is that if you earn, on a global basis, if you earn $33,000 a year, globally, you are in the top 1%
Wow.
of income, globally.
Wow.
So many people go to bed hungry at night. So many people go to bed not knowing where their next meal's coming from, or they just, the hope is, and despair is rampant.
Well, my
Lack of hope.
wife and your girlfriend, baby May, both had times in their lives where they went to bed with no food. They went 2 days with no food at all.
Damn right.
You know, and in your life, did you ever go to bed with no food?
Never.
Even when I was like living on the streets when I was hitchhiking as a teenager, I never went without food. There was always someplace to get
Always.
something to eat.
Always.
You know, but she actually had no food at all for a couple of days.
No.
You know,
I've never done it, but you know, in America, I guess you could put a tin cup up and you could walk around and you can get a few bucks out of
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
passerbyers. And you could go to Taco Bell, like you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, and get the 99-cent deal and
Yeah.
put some food on your stomach and then
Yeah.
go to sleep in your car if that's your
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, well, this was a long conversation about absolutely nothing, which I absolutely
That's what we specialize
love.
in. That's what we specialize in.
We had absolutely
Talking about
no
nothing.
idea what we were going to talk about. We just turned the camera on and said, well, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
So thanks for being on the channel.
My pleasure.
Let's plug your channel.
Every man has a story.
Every man has a story. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And your girlfriend's got to love the channel also.
Every woman has a story.
There you go. And so thanks for joining us, kids. Thanks for being on the show, Mark. And we will see you crazy people next time.
Okay.